GM friends, and thanks for joining DeFi-Logic TA Tuesday, every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Mountain Time. As a member of DeFi-Logic server, you can join our call every week, request chart reviews, and discuss the charts in real time. Check out the link in the video description below. In today's community call, we will review charts for Terra Luna Classic, Chainlink, Solana, Pepe, Cosmos, Bitcoin, ETH, and for legacy markets, S&P 500, Dollar Index, US 10-year bonds, Volatility Index, and last but not least, the ugly-looking euro. And with that, we will go over to Eddie.
All right, let's go. All right, cool. What's up, everybody? Hope everyone had a good week. We actually had some action last week to trade. It was kind of cool, but hopefully it wasn't just because of monthly close and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully we continue getting some good price action. Sorry, we're not looking at INJ. I was looking at that one. Okay, so I'm going to start with Bitcoin. Let's turn off this Monday range. I longed Monday range, that's why I have it on here, but it's not giving the best reaction, and especially because there's some other stuff to look at, so super small size. But anyways, let's kind of do a quick recap of it. I'm going to do Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then we'll do some of these altcoins. So we finally got to this level that I've been wanting to, well, I guess we hit it a while, came down, and came back up. Everyone's saying October, this and that, even I was for a little bit, but we're not getting the greatest reaction from here. We should pop a little bit and get something higher, but I think this 28 level is going to be pretty tough. So let's erase the chart and kind of see what we're looking at. So I still really think that these lows, they're just begging to get ran. Like they're just asking for it. You don't have these relatively equal lows so close to each other without them getting ran typically. Still think we're going to be going down, unfortunately, but there is a chance that we go up. So we want this level to hold for sure. You got basically your support resistance flip. It's kind of a big zone, but I like to take the closes and the wicks and kind of put them all into effect on Bitcoin because it takes a fair amount of volume to push it. So, and what I was talking about earlier when I first came on, how I took a small position here, but I'm not super loving it, mainly because I'm watching this on the 4 hour. I just feel like it kind of wants to come down and tag some more. Hold on, let me get a better chart on here. I have this Kraken one, and Kraken is ugly. I think it's best to be paying attention to the one that has the most volume, which I believe is still Binance anyway. So, and then, anyways, so I'm kind of looking at this 4 hour level to get tagged. I think that it very well could, which is why I'm not like super excited about this Monday low long that I took. It's just a very small position because it came in and it swept. Oh, whatever this play was. I posted this on Twitter actually. This play, and it gave this the target, but I closed it on like when market closed because we haven't been seeing any pumping over the weekend in 2 years, and then it gave a pump on the weekend, which is something that you can't really count a whole lot on. And if you do count on it, you really want this level to hold. So I'm going to pay attention to that. If it loses that, we're going to start going down to these lows. And as you can see, I have these lows marked on basically every single one of my charts because they're just primed for the taking. If we do hold and we go up from here, I still think you got to be high time frame bearish. We've got just so much, we just have so much stuff that we need to flip still. I think the moving average traders have something going on right here too even. I want to say there's a daily moving average 100 right here. Yeah, confluent with former range high. So you need to flip both of these two levels right here. And then if you do, you can start targeting these highs. But for now, really I'm looking for a short to bounce unless we can show some bullish price action above here. I think that was the rest of the up move I was looking for. And now I'm looking for it to go down and take out these lows. That's Bitcoin. And then if it takes out these lows, then obviously you can aim lower. Just target ones right there for sure. And I think it's going to come. Maybe one more of these first, then down. We'll see. Let's look at Ethereum. Yeah, October is for sure over. It seems October is for dollar. It seems that's what we're getting. Let's check this out. Oh, I got these weird volume bars on. Let's turn those off and delete this. So Ethereum's still weaker, right? Oh, I just got rid of Bitcoin. Where'd it go? I like that's trading lower. Let me just look again really quick. Yeah, Ethereum's like already down here, right? So it's still the beta short between the two large caps. And it did the same kind of thing where it took out this range high and it deviated below it and it gave like a really nice trigger to get short. And if somebody was in that, you would need to be taking profit into this consolidation and then aiming at these lows for your next zone. But I'm going to be looking for the same thing. There's two plays, really, in my opinion. If we attack the lows first, you can look to short a retest of it. That's your target. Then if you are like ultra bearish, you can start to look into these even, but I would just take some off as we sweep that. And then as soon as we form some sort of bullish price action, close it completely and flip long. So that's play one. Same idea. If it takes out the highs, I think that moving average is in the same area. Yep. Daily moving average 100, a lot of people pay attention to that. So it's something that I'll pay attention to just because I know so many people do it. So same idea. If it flips range high and this daily moving average 100, you can look to get long and target your highs. But I think these are counter trend. Like longing is still not really the play you want to be doing, it seems. I could potentially see us coming up and retesting just this zone right here. This is basically the squiggle I draw. This is it in reverse. Because I had a SFP, a market structure break, come in and retest it. That's your short, and you're aiming for the lows with your stop loss right here. So I think we should go lower unless we flip those two key highs on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think that shorting has good R, and you can really give yourself a clear invalidation with some pretty clear targets too. I think I've been saying for a month that market's going to go lower. Got next, LUNC Classic. Entered the top 100 by market cap on September 27th. Pretty cool. This is straight up just a scam coin, I'm pretty sure, right? I don't think there's anything to it besides Do Kwon scamming everybody. But let's see what it looks like. I think this is the one that has the most, the LUNC chart. I could be wrong, but it's got a good amount of data. I haven't looked at this in a really long time, so give me a minute just to see. As you can see, those were my lines that I looked at last. Too bad I gave a perfect short on it too. I don't think I took that. It is in kind of like this support zone. To focus on that though, because I think the market should be going lower. So trendline traders would have been watching this and shorted it down, right? If you zoom in on the lower time frame, it probably gave a really nice reset of it right here. I think if the market pumps at all, this isn't a bad one to target for a short as well. Anything into this little zone or near it, I'd be looking to get short with stops just above those highs probably. It means something like right here and then down here. But I think it should go lower still. There's nothing really else I like about this coin. I don't really view it as something that anybody should look to accumulate because it was literally just the implosion that it had. This was one of the greatest Ponzi's of last bull run. Yeah, that's all I see is just a short into that zone for now. I wouldn't even counter trade it for a scalp long because it's just, I don't think it's a smart idea. Yeah. So I got Chainlink. So presented yesterday at SmartCon. I've also heard some stuff about Link that something's happening with it as far as, I don't know, some like tokenomics upgrading. I just heard that there's something that's supposed to happen with Link. Oh,
CCI.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's like, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, it's the cross-chain interoperability protocol. So it's playing into the macro narrative, I would say, for crypto. We're going to look at Atom or Cosmos in a bit too. And so these protocols that are lending to the interoperability to make UX and everything like that better for crypto could be big in the future. So I think that's probably what you're talking about, but it could be something else as well.
Potentially, yeah. All I heard was like there's supposed to be stuff happening for Jake. Maybe this time it's different. It was just very vague. So actually, I was hoping that we were going to be bullish at the no. So I think I attempted to get long on this the other day. What I was doing was buying these kind of zones right here, this whole retest. So I don't even remember what chart that I was using to trade the coin on. Maybe the Bybit one. Let me just check one more. It was looking pretty decent at first, but straight into resistance, and I was hoping that it would just do a small pullback and then break out, but became the thing though. So let's see if this loads up. Bybit. Here we go. So you have this huge resistance zone that's been like for a year or something like that. Pretty much from right here, you did have those higher taps into it, but this has pretty much been its large macro resistance since May of 22. And it came and retested it the past couple days. So I was hoping for just a shallow retest into this little 4-hour zone for it to go back up because of all the changes that it was supposed to be. Instead, it chopped around my entry for a long time, and then I closed it for like a small loss because it looked really bearish on the lower time frames. And then luckily I saved myself from getting a stop out, which was good. I think that Chainlink is probably going to have a massive year though. So let's get off of this chart and go to just a blank one. Because going back to what I said a bit ago, it's been basically ranging for over a year, which if something does that for that long, all right, I have so many plans with this coin, as you can see on so many charts. Yeah. So it's just been ranging for so freaking long. And is this even active, this one? Yeah. And eventually it's going to break out, especially with the stuff that they're doing. Eventually the Chainlink team and Sergey will stop selling their coins. They've always suppressed their own price ups, but you can't see something like this and not think, especially with new changes that they're making, that this is going to go on a new bull run. Like it's for sure, not for sure, but it's very highly likely that it's going to see new highs. So this is definitely a coin that anybody involved in the space, I think, should have in their portfolio. But high time frame plans aside, I think it's just going to continue to do the same thing. If it does break out of the range, then just buy it. But it doesn't seem like we're going to be breaking out anytime soon. If it can come back into here, it's a short. I'd even bring it down a little bit to the wicks. It's got a bunch of targets. You're just going to target each one of these lows. So I'll look for, I probably wouldn't short this one specifically because I think there's other coins that nobody cares about out there. But I think it's going to do something like this where it just comes into it and then eventually comes a bit lower in the low time frame. And then again, though, high time frame, this is definitely something that is worth accumulating, I think, just by the way the chart looks and the way the fundamentals sound like they're shaping up to be. Let's look at Sol next. So the Solana enjoyers are trolling the Ethereum maxis with the low amount of fees that they've paid over the years, which is true. That's one thing you can never do, is you can never marry any coin because the whole space should always continue to get better, right? And Sol too, like, as you can see, I have this like range already plotted on here. It's also another one of those coins, just like Chainlink, that it's just forming this beautiful bottom right now. And I think it'll just continue to do that. It's going to be more volatile. This is a pretty huge range. So you're going to catch your swings, and this is such a great coin to trade when it is moving. But it's definitely one that I plan on holding a bunch of. And then as far as what can we do with it right now? So it's in the short zone right now for me. Daily as well. It's having a reaction here. I kind of want to short it. The only problem is you can't just go above these highs because all of these are right by it. So I don't love it. These SFPs here. Oh man, actually I think I do like it for a short right now. And I would just go right here. Obviously in trading sometimes you get stopped out, but I think the setup is here. So I'm in a daily or a weekly short point of interest, right? That's what this box is. And then the 12-hour has swept a bunch of these highs. The 1 hour has the low that created the high right here, which has, we've gotten a close below it, which breaks market structure, and now it's retesting it. So it checks all the boxes. It's short with your T1 targeting probably these lows, maybe these ones as a T2 just because. And then, I don't know, then you can probably tumble a lot further. Probably do something like that, potentially for a reaction into this zone. This is actually really cool because if it does have a reaction, you would just scalp long it as a hedge and then compound your short once it comes in, retest this level again. So if it comes down here, and then it'll probably retest these highs, or I'm sorry, these like closes, and then I'd be looking for this stuff right here. This is really good. Well, really good for a short. Pep. It's been trending for weeks now. Pep, I think Pep is good. This is just my speculation, but I think Pep is going to be this cycle's Doge. I always chart it on the MEXC one because that was one of the first exchanges where it traded as a perp. So it's got a lot of data on it. But yeah, I just feel that I was wrong on that one, huh? It's still a pretty key low right here, so I'm going to leave that. If it can deviate that low and get a daily close above it, maybe take out some of these highs here, any dips you're going to want to buy. But I just don't think the market's very bullish. If you can do that, you need to just take profit aggressively. I'd even look, if it has the ability to go up here, I'd even look for shorts right here. It looks pretty decent though. Nice wick into this demand. This has been trending Just the people talking about it or what? Because I guess it is moving a lot. Maybe on a lower time frame you can find a different entry, but I don't like to go that low. So what I would do if you want to get long, again, just a daily close above this line and then something a little bit lower of an entry. Maybe it'd be more risky, but if I got like a hourly close here and then it prints the fractal, right? So the hourly close and then it retests it with your stop below there, aiming for up here. That's really all I can see on Pep, but it looks pretty decent. It doesn't look like something that I want to just be shorting right away, not for much higher at least. Potentially right here though. So this might be a trouble area actually. I don't know. That's a tough one. Hold on. I mean, if you got long, you'd have to be looking to exit out of the position here, honestly, now that I look at it with more recent price action, because I was taking off a very old low. Other than that, it looks pretty decent. So if you were to get long, I would use this low as your invalidation. You have to be taking profit into this and look for a bearish price action. And if it doesn't give it, then just look at this next zone. But this is so much resistance right on top of each other that it makes me not want to get into a long position at all with it. I'd rather just look for bearish price action in one of these zones instead. And if it flips it again, like at this point, maybe you would long into that one because you have clear skies here. But other than that, this is just, I bet you on the weekly, it's just like a huge level too. Just all inefficient price action. I don't know. Pep is kind of a weird one for me. I don't have the best read on it. Like this wick is kind of throwing me off. Take that with a grain of salt. Adam, the Nomec DAO announced that BTC interchain upgrade, which enables decentralized transfer and use of Bitcoin within the Cosmos ecosystem, addressing the lack of such methods and expanding DeFi applications. Adam's one of those coins, man. Adam's one of those coins that like the tech is so great, is what I hear. It's also the cursed coin where like when it's pumping, you have to be afraid for the market. It looks terrible. This looks so bad.
I'm pretty sure it's the emissions. That's what really fucks this coin. If I recall correctly, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I had to look more into it. I don't follow it that often, but I want to say that's something that I found out, I don't know, in the last 6 months.
Gotcha. Yeah, this just looks bad. It looks like it wants to go lower from here. So when I look at it on the daily, all this just kind of stands out at me as just all these, it's just big, huge resistance, right? If it flips it, then you can argue for higher prices. You just have to be wary of this zone, but you can go higher. But I just don't, it doesn't look good at all. I don't think. It's kind of predicting a short setup right now. So let's look. So all these highs have been swept. I know it closed above it technically, but just kind of using some, not exactly what you see. You have to kind of have to feel the market too. So I count this as a swing failure pattern as well. So I got step one of what I need for a short. I'll have the clearest read on the low time frame market structure. I'd probably have to say it was maybe this low is my structure break. And I already retested it, gave a short. And then, yeah, you could just go in again right now if you want to be hyper aggressive, do something like that. I think Adam's going to go lower. It doesn't look good at all. Didn't even pump when LUNC was pumping. Hate it. Okay, well, that's the end of my pessimism for today.
I think it's good, man, honestly, because the market is so, I feel like it's still just high on hopium, dude. It's crazy.
It is. Dollar's just too strong. I'm sure we'll get a nice analysis of that here in a little bit, but that's kind of the boss of the market right now.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you, Eddie. We appreciate your bearishness and DeFi-Logic. Maybe the rest of crypto Twitter and YouTube doesn't, but we definitely do. So thank you. And I will bring up GForce to review the legacy markets. On to you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to cover the legacy markets like I do every week, S&P 500. I'm going to do the dollar index like Eddie referred to, and also the U.S. 10-year yield, as well as the VIX. And I will step on Eddie's toes a little bit and do the euro, but that will be towards the end. So this is the SPX chart. It's a daily chart. Again, there's a lot going on with this chart. The bears are in full blown, coming out of their cave mode today. And you can see here is that I had a diagonal line here, this diagonal support line that went all the way back. It actually went all the way to May. And I've kept that support line because it touched right here. And it closed and went below it back here on September 20th, right here. Since that point, the S&P has dropped 200 points, actually a little bit more counting today. So this has just been a 200-point slide. And you can see it's just gone down the 2x Bollinger Band, the lower 2x Bollinger Band. It basically couldn't clear it here. It dropped and closed below. Couldn't on this point right here. It could not clear above it. We just keep sliding down. And today we're going to probably close right at the 2x Bollinger Band line right there, which right now is 42.29, and we're trading right now at 42.23. So it might pop back up a little bit to close right there, but it closes within those point ranges very close. It's amazing how it does close very in those point ranges, like I said. And again, computer trading, automated trading, quant trading, AI trading, they like those ranges and they like to stay within. So what's unique about the S&P 500 this past couple of weeks is that it's been trading between the 2x band and using that as a resistance and using the 3x as support. It hardly ever does that. Looking at this, all my years of experience, things are looking really ugly. It's just ugly. October is going to be a typical October, and September was a typical September. So it's just going to keep going down further and further. Everybody's talking about it reaching down to the 4,200 level. So this week it probably will do it, because tomorrow we have the PMI numbers out early in ISM. The PMI is a purchasers manufacturing index, and the ISM is a services manufacturing numbers as well. So the reason why the market sold off today was that the jobs number was too good. We created too many jobs, got too many jobs, and that's why things are tanking, because interest rates are going to keep going further higher and higher. But before we get to the interest rates, I'm going to go to the dollar index, switch to that. Again, all my charts are a daily chart. So looking at that, since the BRICS announcement way back here at the end of August 24th, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 highs. It just keeps climbing up, parabolic, and that's probably why crypto isn't doing hardly anything. Because this one opposite of the market is just riding the upper 2x band, okay, and keeps going on that. So the dollar index is just showing all kinds of strength. We're going to hop down to the US 10-year yield. That is doing the same thing as well. And you'll just see here, I got to put another high point arrow up here because it just keeps going up as well. And this is why the markets are really tanking too, is because you can see that interest rates are just going up. I use a 10-year because it's a little bit more accurate and a little bit more, how can I say, reflects the current market trends at the moment. The 30-year is a little bit of a lag. The 10-year, there's hardly any lag. So as I said a couple times in the Sunday Symposium, that interest rates are here to stay. We're in a 30-year uptrend cycle on interest rates. Interest rates have a 30-year cycle, and we were below it. We were down into like almost 0% on interest rates, and the EU is actually below 0 on interest rates. So now we're back into the cycle going upward for a 30-year cycle on that. So no good news there with the interest rates. Just expect to keep having more and more interest rates. Let's switch to the VIX. Now the VIX is the fear gauge of the markets, and you can see it's climbing like crazy. It's up now over 20. It hasn't been up to 20 in quite a few months. In fact, we had a summertime low of the VIX, which is what's traveled down here between 14 and 13. You can see my ranges here. The black line is 14. The yellow line is 13. And it's just taken off ever since. We got fear back into the markets. So the markets are thinking, okay, the Fed is going to keep raising interest rates because the economy is being resilient. And that's not good, because now we have, especially real estate market on the commercial side, they're trying to refinance their bonds, and those are just being really expensive now, extremely expensive than what they had. A half a point interest rate raise was difficult, and now we've had several half points, quarter points, and it's just not looking very good. So this summer, the VIX was pretty much in the gutter because we had a lot of complacency, and now it's taken off like crazy. So the last one I'm going to do is the euro. I don't follow the euro much because I'm more in legacy markets. The euro is basically tanking as well because the dollar is so strong. It's interesting how it kind of held its ground around the 108, 1.08 level. Summertime, we had a huge amount of U.S. tourists going to Europe. And so the euro kind of hung high so they can get that money. At least that's my opinion, at a higher euro rate. And now it's just going down. Now reality is sitting in and the euro's going down. Now we're down to 104 and seven pips. So 104 it could get back down to parity again. Parity means $1 for €1. It could get back down to that level. We'll see though. Okay, that's it for the legacy markets. Pepe, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right. Well, that's it for this week. Appreciate everybody that joined. Remember, as a DeFi-Logic member, you can post requests in the Daily Dose forum. We'll review the coins, assets, and tradable proxies in the next call. Also, any members interested in alpha testing the ETH spot trading indicator and the XRP strategy, the service is free until we launch. We're currently working on a Bitcoin strategy as well, so be on the lookout for that. And as a freemium service, members who join prior to public launch are locked in. As an early member, you'll gain free lifetime access to the server with steep discounts on other products and services that we develop in the future. We appreciate you joining. We'll see you next time at 12 p.m. Mountain Time on Tuesday. GM friends.
Join us next week in Discord for TA Tuesday at DeFiLogic.com.